when you combine the way that Jalen Brunson led this team through this season, when you combine it with the way he has played, combine it with the way he has evolved as a player and improved as a player, I've got to vote. He's going to be my most improved player for this season. I mean, this is a guy who did not make the All-Star team last year. Now, should have, in my opinion, but didn't. And he's going to be 5th on my MVP ballot, and he's going to be a first-team All-NBA player as a guy who a couple of years ago, the Mavs had a chance to sign for essentially the mid-level exception and didn't want to do it. It's one of the more remarkable individual improvement stories in recent memory in the league, maybe in the history of the league. And it's the kind of thing that if you're a team trying to build a championship team, for all the things you can do where you structurally make the right decisions, you got to get lucky. And whatever else you want to say about the connections the Knicks had to Jalen Brunson and getting him in the building, I don't think anybody outside of maybe Jalen Brunson's own mind thought he had any chance of being this level of player. And him becoming a bona fide all-NBA guard like he has, and to Steph's point, doing stuff when the other team knows exactly what's coming every game and still finding a way to be successful, that is the single biggest thing that has changed the entire trajectory of the Knicks and's got them in a position where if they can add another piece or two, they are a team that's going to legitimately be a title contender for the first time in a generation.
Tim, 2 quick things there. I would also put Rick Brunson on the list of people who felt Jalen could make this leap.
No,
and
I don't even
think
Rick thought this.
Huh? Interesting.
Yeah, but I'll tell you. You know what's funny about that, Tim, is I had Jalen Brunson second on my most improved last year, and for you to vote him first, that just shows how much is true. I mean, it's like this.
Yeah,
it's incredible what he's been doing since he got here.
That's
Tim,
amazing.
You mentioned first team All-NBA. You are voting on that team. Is that correct?
Yep.
And he will be first team for you. That's
yep.
Do you think? I mean, you can't speak for other voters, but to you, does he have a clear case for first team at this point?
I mean, look, I think there's 4 guys who are first team All-NBA players this year. And they're the top 4 guys on my MVP ballot. It's Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, who I'll vote in that order. I would say the 5th spot probably comes down on both the MVP ballot and the first team All-NBA ballot to some combination of Jalen, Jason Tatum, and Kawhi Leonard for most people. And maybe Anthony Edwards will get in there too. But from an MVP standpoint, I don't really think it's up for debate because the Celtics obviously are a fantastic team and deep across the board. The Knicks, as we've talked about a bunch, have dealt with a ton of injuries, and they don't, especially with Julius Randle out for the past 3 months. I mean, you guys watch it every day, and everybody watching obviously sees it all the time. Jalen Brunson has an insane load that he's got to carry every day, and he has put the team literally on his back and dragged them along and gotten them into the 2 seed. So I think from a value proposition, he's clearly been one of the most valuable players in the league. If you want to quibble about whether he's quite on all of first-team All-NBA or he should be second, that's fine. The bottom line is he's going to be, at minimum, a second-team All-NBA player, and he's going to get a bunch of MVP votes. And the fact that we're even having this discussion goes back to everything we said. It's just a truly remarkable ability from him to get better as a player and develop and put in all this work. And, it's the combination of him and Tibbs that has really laid the foundation for what this team is about and how they go about their business every day. And we'll see what that translates to over the next few weeks. But regardless of how this season goes, whether it ends in 2 weeks or in 2 months, the Knicks have got about as bright a future as any team in the league because of that combination of flexibility of assets they've got going forward.
Yeah,
Tim's going to have a lot of ticked off Celtics fans at him. That's what I'm hearing.
He's used to that.
Listen, Jason Tatum's had a heck of a year, and he's a heck of a player. But his numbers are down in part because their team is awesome. It's not really a criticism of him. It's more just praise for Jalen Brunson and the way he's played and just the immense load he's got to carry on a nightly basis. Jason Tatum doesn't have to do that because their team is so much deeper and better.